welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, I'm Roxana. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than the types of videos I normally do. I'm going to be talking about what it's like traveling to Disney in the middle of a pandemic. If you are new to my channel, or you don't know and you don't follow me on my social media accounts, which, by the way, they are all linked in the description of all of my videos, including this one. I went to Disney the beginning of this month. And this recent Disney trip originally started off as a solo trip, and then it turned into me planning on meeting up with Aaron from my Disney World Fix, which then quickly turned into us talking, and then us talking turned into us getting in a relationship, which led to the trip. The original plan, then it led to him picking me up at the resort that I was staying at, and then that kind of changed. He was able to make arrangements where he was able to stay with me at the resort. I stayed at Pop Century, and that was my first time there. If you want a review on the resort, comment down below and I would do a review on the resort. Anyways, so basically, as far as the procedure goes for airports, all airports and all airlines mandate wearing a face mask. So I had a whole bunch of face masks in my personal bag, ready to go. I flew from O'Hare Airport all the way into Orlando International Airport, and the airline that I flew two different airlines. So the airline number one that I flew in going into Orlando was Frontier, and Frontier did a temperature check. So that was temperature check number one for me that day, and then temperature check number two was at Epcot, and then later on that day, Aaron and I went to Disney Springs, and that was temperature check number three for me. One thing that I did notice is that on both flights, going to on both the Frontier flight going in, and then the Spirit flight coming back home, is both flights were packed, were full. They are asking all passengers to wear face masks. The only time you can remove your face mask is when you are actively eating or drinking. Once you're done eating or drinking, you have to put your face mask on for the remainder of the flight. You cannot take it off whenever, and you still have to follow basic flight guidelines. And so one thing you guys need to know is that not every airline is going to do a temp check. I was actually flying back home. I was prepared to do a temp check on Spirit, but Spirit didn't do a temp check, which, was okay, it was fine, whatever. But I thought it was kind of odd that Frontier had me doing a temp check, but Spirit didn't. So before you leave, I would check the policy on temp check for the airline that you're flying with. Some airlines might require to do temp checks, and then other airlines may not require to do a temp check. So once I actually got to my resort, check-in was easy because check-in gets done online. And I just, so I checked in on the My Disney Experience app, as like a kind of force of habit out of the past traveling that I've done. I went to the front desk and checked in there as well. Even though I didn't really need to check in there, I did it anyways. So Aaron picked me up from the airport. We went from the airport to Pop. I checked in at the front desk, and we were ready to go. All I had to do was give them my phone number for when the room was ready, because the room wasn't ready. I actually landed early that day. I was supposed to land at 9:45, and we landed way earlier than scheduled. So which meant getting to the resort earlier than planned. So after getting all checked in and giving the front desk my number so that they could send me a text message when my room was ready, I was still wearing winter clothes because it was in the 20s when I left Chicago, and then by the time I landed in Orlando, it was in the 70s, and I could feel how warm it was and the humidity. And so before I pulled out a pair of shorts from my luggage. I already had a t-shirt underneath the Spirit jersey that I was wearing, so that made it easy. So I quickly changed into the bathroom, and then once I changed, Aaron and we checked in our luggage with the baggage service there and made our way to Epcot. Now, having to wear a face mask at the parks was no big deal because obviously living in Illinois has mask wearing mandated for the entire state. So that wasn't a problem. Getting used to social distancing lines was very interesting because places here basically removed a lot of their markers. So everyone's kind of guessing, or they're not really caring to follow the rules up here. So that took a while to get used to that. There were times where the person in front of me would move forward and then they would randomly stop, and I'm just like, oh wait, I gotta back up a little bit. So that took a while. I eventually got the hang of it. One thing that I didn't realize Disney had changed was you're not allowed to eat or drink while waiting in line, and I definitely was guilty of doing that. I'm just like, whoops. I heard the announcement. They're like, no eating or drinking while waiting in line. I'm like, whoops, my bad. So I finished, anytime I was drinking in line, I would quickly finish taking my last sip and then handing my water bottle over to Aaron because he had both of our water bottles. So I brought my own hand sanitizer, and I brought disinfecting wipes and hand wipes. I only used the disinfecting wipes once. We were kind of just like, because of the time frame my trip was, we were kind of like go, but we were also taking our time. I do gotta say, if you are thinking of traveling to Disney or you have a trip planned to Disney, when I went, and this is take what I'm about to say with a grain of salt. When I went, the crowds weren't too bad and the lines weren't ridiculously long. They were long. They were long because social distancing, but they weren't as bad as I thought they would be. So do keep in mind sometimes the wait times aren't exactly accurate. They can be sometimes a wait time can say 60 minutes and it's really 30 minutes. Sometimes a wait time can say 25 minutes and it's 40 minutes. Those are, I think they're just going based on pre-pandemic wait times. Some of the ones were that, for example, like Nemo and Friends, I think that one had like a 15-minute wait, but the 15-minute wait was going through the entire queue because of how long of a queue Nemo is, and it was basically a walk-on. We did have to use Aaron's disability pass quite a few times, so he added me to his pass system. His disability pass system. If you don't know what that is, Aaron has talked about it a whole bunch on his channel. So his channel's linked in the description down below, so you can watch any of his live streams or he mentions it. He does a lot better job than I could. And I'm a former Disney cast member. So that's saying something. I don't really have a need on using it because I don't have a disability that requires me to use it, so, but Aaron does. So other than that, like, I love the fact that Disney has cavalcades. That made it a lot easier on seeing characters that you normally don't see unless it's like a special occasion, like the Christmas parties or the Halloween parties or what have you, because none of these special events are going on. You basically get to see the Christmas cavalcades, which are currently going on, as if you were going to a Christmas party, but you're not paying the price of a Christmas party. So, but it's pretty much being at Disney in the middle of a pandemic felt pretty normal to me. I'm not gonna lie, obviously with the exception of social distancing and having to wear a face mask and not being able to eat or drink anything unless you're stationary, it felt normal to me. And the magic 100% is there because the cast members are just, they're happy to be there and they're happy to make magic again, and you can just tell even though they are wearing a face mask and you can't see their smiley faces. We had some pretty awesome photographers who just did an awesome job on like getting us to laugh. So that's pretty much what my experience was like traveling to Disney in the middle of a pandemic. Obviously, the whole face mask and social distancing and having to like sanitize and having to wait in a line where they are sanitizing the ride vehicles is different. But other than that, it feels somewhat normal to me. Anyways, if you recently traveled to Disney or you have since the parks have been opened, share in the comments down below what your experience was like. Maybe it's different from mine. I know that as time goes on and more people feel a little bit more comfortable with traveling, Disney will slowly increase capacity. But obviously you've got the park pass system that's in place for that to help with crowd control. So do keep in mind for that. Another thing that Disney recently changed was the pass system for Rise of the Resistance. I'm like, what's that one called? You can now get a boarding pass at 7 a.m. so you don't have to be in the park for the first set of boarding passes. Second set of boarding passes is still at 2 p.m. So that's one thing that's changed. And Fast Pass is still not available yet, obviously. Park hopping is coming back January, so I'm excited for that. I hope everyone's having a happy Thanksgiving. And I'll see you lovely Disney nerds in my next video. Bye, guys.